what's happening?
In the comics, Peter Parker is far from the only Marvel character to receive a bite from a radioactive spider. Cindy Moon is also bitten by a superpower-giving arachnid. After being briefly imprisoned, she is freed by Peter and goes on to become the vigilante known as Silk. Although she doesn't have superpowers yet, Cindy appears in Spider-Man Homecoming as Peter's classmate and fellow member of the academic decathlon. Moon, along with her teammates, is saved by Spider-Man from a damaged elevator. We can only hope that if or when she gets her powers, she will follow his example and become a superhero too.
No.
Why not?
Number 9, The Living Tribunal. Doctor Strange.
Is the staff of the Living Tribunal.
The Marvel Comics universe has plenty of cosmically powerful beings. One of these is the Living Tribunal, an entity as old as existence itself who has always tried to bring balance to the mystical elements within every reality. The Tribunal is yet to be seen explicitly in the MCU, and its appearance, with its multiple faces and golden metallic skin, might be hard to create on screen. However, it is confirmed to exist in the MCU, as Mordo tells Doctor Strange that part of its essence resides in a staff he uses during their training and in battle.
Some magic is too powerful to sustain, so we imbue objects with it.
Number 8, Cardiac, The Defenders. A former surgeon in the comics, Elias Wortham is a vigilante who gains superpowers after replacing his own heart with a particle accelerator. Rather than fight violent crimes, like most superpowered vigilantes, Cardiac instead targets corrupt and greedy medical corporations in revenge for the death of his brother, whom he feels they failed to save. His targeting law-abiding if immoral citizens even brings him into conflict with other superheroes. Cardiac may not appear in the flesh, but his name can be spotted on Misty Knight's chart in The Defenders. This implies that Wortham is still practicing medicine, rather than taking down those who withhold it. Number 7, Jocasta, Avengers Age of Ultron.
How could you be worthy? You're all killers.
Ultron may be a murderous AI, but he does get lonely, no matter the medium. In the comics, Ultron creates Jocasta to be his companion. However, much like Vision in the film, Jocasta eventually turns against her creator to join the Avengers. Jocasta is also an artificial construct in the MCU, except, like Ultron, she's the creation of Tony Stark. You can see her name printed on one of the alternative user interfaces Tony considers after losing Jarvis. If Ultron does somehow return, perhaps Jocasta could appear as well. Number 6, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. While the current roster of the roguish extraterrestrial super team has become incredibly popular, they weren't the first Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. The original team members also appear in the second film in cameo roles, as members of the Ravagers. Stakar Ogord, aka Starhawk, is a little hard to miss given that he's played by Sylvester Stallone. But the other members, including the other Starhawk, Alita, the Crystalline Martin X, Massive Charlie 27, and the rest all appear in the film. They are there paying their respects to Yondu and talking about reforming their old team.
You know, it's a shame that it took the tragedy of losing Yondu to bring us all together again.
Number 5, Superior Carnage, Jessica Jones.
I did this to you. This is all on me.
The comics have featured not only heroes who have shared the same name, but also a number of villains who have done likewise. One of the versions of Carnage is Dr. Carl Malice, a scientist fixated on superhumans who merges with a murderous symbiote. Malice's MCU counterpart shares his comics version's interest in people with superpowers, as his attempts to save the lives of the title character and her mother grants them both incredible abilities. However, the fact that Malice is mostly an enemy of Spider-Woman likely prevented him from becoming Carnage, as she has not appeared in the MCU yet. Also, his apparent death was another big obstacle. Number 4, Doc Samson, The Incredible Hulk.
It's a point of professional pride with me that I can always tell when somebody's lying. And you are.
The Hulk supporting characters have kind of gotten the short end of the stick in the MCU, but his only solo film in the franchise does feature some of them, including ones you may not have noticed. Doc Samson in the comics is also a gamma radiation-powered psychiatrist turned superhero, though not quite in the same vein as the Hulk. In the MCU, though, Dr. Leonard Samson is merely a psychiatrist who dates Bruce Banner's ex, Betty Ross. He was meant to have a larger role, but many of his scenes were cut out.
I used to wonder why she never talked about you. Now I know!
Number 3, Beta Ray Bill, Thor Ragnarok.
Yes!
This extremely colorful film also featured one of the MCU's most colorful Easter eggs. On Sakaar, the planet where Hulk and Thor are stranded and do battle, the stadium boasts a display featuring the heads of past champions. Among these are Man-Thing, whom we also considered for this list, as well as Beta Ray Bill, a horse-like alien superhero who also wields Thor's hammer and powers. Bill was originally intended to appear physically in a cameo, though he was ultimately cut from the film. But fear not, true believers, as he is reportedly scheduled to appear in a greater capacity in the future.
Claim your freedom!
Number 2, Human Torch, Captain America: The First Avenger.
Now picture that, but everywhere.
No, we don't mean Johnny Storm, although Chris Evans did play that character too. Rather, we're talking about the original Marvel Human Torch. This one is an android who could self-ignite and project fire from his hands. Beginning as a sort of misunderstood Frankenstein's monster, the Human Torch eventually became a superhero. The fiery artificial hero appears in the first Avenger as an exhibit at the Stark Expo that Steve Rogers visits, where he is kept inside a glass case. Here's hoping the MCU decides to return to the Torch and other early 20th century heroes. Number 1, Miles Morales, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Seriously, Dad, walking would have been fine.
We began our list with an alternate Spider-Person, and we're ending with one too. A teenager bit by another of those pesky spiders, Miles Morales has taken up the mantle of Spider-Man in several different media. Although Miles himself does not appear in Spider-Man: Homecoming, his uncle Aaron Davis is the criminal who aids Peter in getting alien guns off the street. Although Davis refers to having a nephew in the film, a deleted scene even had Davis call Miles on the phone, telling him he's going to be late after being tied up.
Yeah, sorry, Miles, I'm not gonna make it.
Given Miles' prominence in the new cinematic Spider-Verse, here's hoping we get to see him in the official MCU.
How many more spider people are there?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.